Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Nar from the Nar Report, back today with another episode. And today, I'll be talking about all the Week 2 games from this weekend. Man, Week 2 of the NFL season was crazy. A lot of upsets, a lot of stuff that happened around the league. I'll talk about that. And Tua's injury, we heard about the latest today that he is being placed on IR. And a couple more injuries have been going on around the National Football League, so I'll talk about that. And I'll give out my Week 3 predictions. Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here, as y'all know. Or if you don't know, I'll go live every Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. So make sure y'all come join and support. Your one and only Nar from the Nar Report. And if you would love to, you can ask me some questions on my IG and my TikTok at the Nar Report. The link is in my bio. Ask me some good sports questions, and I'll answer them on the live. Now, let's get into these Week 2 games. Week 2 was a good week. Starting off with the Thursday night game, we got the Buffalo Bills defeating the Miami Dolphins 31-10 in Miami in an AFC East showdown. Man, the Bills ran the Dolphins off the field. Josh Allen had a good game. James Cook was the freaking MVP. James Cook was the MVP for the Buffalo Bills offense. For rushing, he rushed for 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. And for receiving, he had 1 touchdown. So it was 2 on the ground and 1 receiving touchdown for James Cook. Josh Allen, 13 for 19 from completion, threw for 139 yards and 1 touchdown. Josh Allen is still that guy. And here's the thing about the Buffalo Bills. I slept on this team throughout the whole offseason. I was like, man, ain't no more Stephon Diggs, ain't no more Gabe Davis. And the defense, they lost a lot of guys on defense. But hey, the Bills team is still legit. Never sleep on the Bills and Josh Allen. The Bills can win the AFC East again for the 4th straight year in a row. Now let's talk about the Dolphins. The Dolphins, Tua got hurt. Man, I hope Tua is okay. But otherwise, he did not have a good game. Tua Tagovailoa did not have a good game. As I look at his stats, 7 for 25 from completion, threw for 145 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Tua, come on now. You're the franchise quarterback. You got paid in the offseason, and you can't be looking like this in Week 2. And it's crazy because I picked the Miami Dolphins to win the AFC East this year. And now that Tua is out with a concussion, their hopes are just going down. And the defense for the Dolphins was non-existent. When I tell you the defense was non-existent, the Bills ran all over their defense. But otherwise, Bills win 31-10 in Miami in the AFC East showdown. Now moving on to the next game. We got the New Orleans Saints and the Dallas Cowboys. The Saints dominated the Cowboys in Dallas 44-19 in Big D. Let's talk about it. Derek Carr, good game. 11 for 16 for completion attempts, threw for 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Good game. Alvin Kamara, he had a good game. 3 touchdowns. He was the MVP. Alvin Kamara went crazy for the New Orleans Saints against the Dallas Cowboys. The defense had no answer for them. Rashid Shaheed, that long ball for Derek Carr was amazing. And the Saints have weapons. Derek Carr, in his first year as a Saint last year, went 9-8 and almost made the playoffs. And I hate to say this as a Falcons fan, but the Saints are a very good team, and they could win the NFC South this year. Just being real with you. Because when I look at the New Orleans Saints, they got a good defense, a good offense. You got Chris Olave as your number 1 wide receiver, Rashid Shaheed, Alvin Kamara. That's a good offense. Now let's talk about the Cowboys. First of all, before I talk about the Cowboys, Dak Prescott. What was that? That was not a good game for Dak Prescott. Looking at his stats, 27 for 39 from completion attempts, threw for 293 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Dak Prescott, I thought you were the highest paid player in the league. You can't play like this in the week 2 of the NFL season on y'all home field. This was your first home game of the regular season, and you didn't show up. The offense wasn't there. The defense. This is my question from the game. Where was this Dallas Cowboys defense? Does defense exist for the Cowboys? Like, what is going on? And I picked the Cowboys to win this game because when I look at it, I said, all right, the Saints are going up against a very good Dallas Cowboys defense. The D-line is strong. Their cornerbacks are good. Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland. So we're going to see how they match up well against the Saints. But the Saints outnumber them. They outmatch the Dallas Cowboys. But otherwise, that's it. Saints win 44-19. Hey, watch out for the Saints. And shout out to any Saints fans that I haven't alive. Next up, we got the New York Jets and the Tennessee Titans. Jets win 24-17 in Tennessee. Let's talk about it. Aaron Rodgers, bounce back game. That's what I love to see from Aaron Rodgers. 18 for 30 for completion, threw for 176 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Bryce Hall and Brian Allen, or Bryce Allen, whatever his name is, but those 2 running backs in the backfield, that is a good running back duo for the New York Jets because both of those guys balled out. Bryce Hall balled out and B. Allen balled out. If I can figure out what his name is. Braylon Allen. Yeah, that's his name. Braylon Allen did good for the Jets. The defense was good. The New York Jets are a playoff team if Aaron Rodgers could stay healthy throughout the whole season. Just be real. If the Jets stay healthy, they are going to the playoffs. And I would love for them to win the AFC East. So we'll see how the season goes along for the New York Jets. Hopefully, Aaron Rodgers stay healthy. The defense is very good. You got Sauce Gardner, a top 10 corner in the NFL. Despite the Hassan Reddick holdout, the defense is still good. So shout out to the Jets. Now let's go to the Titans. Will Levis, 19 for 28 from completion attempts, threw for 192 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and 4 sacks. Will Levis, he had an okay game, but he just couldn't match up well with this Jets defense. The New York Jets have a legit defense in the NFL, top 10 in the league. And the Titans should be 1-1. They should have beaten the Chicago Bears last week, but they blew it. And I don't know what else to say about the Titans. You blew this game and you blew last game. So that's it. Jets win 24-17, improved to 1-1 of the season. Next game, we got the Buccaneers and the Lions, an NFC divisional round rematch from last year. Bucks win 20-16 in Detroit. Let's talk about it. Baker Mayfield. This dude is insane. I'm glad that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers resigned this dude to be a franchise quarterback because he got the Bucks to the playoffs and won the playoff game against the Eagles. As of right now, Baker Mayfield is a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. He really is. And the Bucks are a playoff team, even though that's our division rival. But the Bucks are good. Baker Mayfield is good. Mike Evans is good. Chris Godwin, he's good. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a really good team. Excuse me there. But let's look at the stats for Baker Mayfield. 12 for 19 from completion, threw for 185 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. That's a good game for Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The offense was good. The defense was good. Let me look at the stats for Mike Evans. 6 targets, 3 receptions for 42 yards. Chris Godwin had a touchdown. Baker Mayfield had a touchdown. Let's see who else scored a touchdown. And that's about it. The defense did their job. Now let's go to the lines. Jared Goff did not have a good game. 34 for 55 for completion attempts, threw for 307 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. This wasn't a good game for Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions, but it's just week 2 of the NFL season, and I have the Detroit Lions making it out the NFC this year. Yes, I got the Detroit Lions making it to the Super Bowl against the Baltimore Ravens. And this Lions team is very good. Jared Goff, he's a good quarterback. The offense is amazing. The defense is good. Dan Campbell, a very good coach. I love Detroit. I love what this team could do. And that's it. Bucks win 20-16 in Detroit and improved to 2-0 of the season. What a game by Baker Mayfield. Next game. The Chargers dominate the Panthers 26-3 in Carolina. There's no surprise there. The Panthers suck, okay? The Chargers, good game. Justin Herbert had a good game. 14 for 20 for completion attempts, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Good game for Justin Herbert. And Jim Harbaugh is changing this LA Chargers culture. They needed a coach like this because Braden Staley wasn't the guy. He just wasn't it. And I'm glad they signed Jim Harbaugh. The Chargers are now 2-0 of the season. They are a sneaky playoff team. And I would love for this team to win the AFC West, but we all know that the AFC West belongs to the Kansas City Chiefs. So I would love for the Chargers to make the playoffs this year under Jim Harbaugh and hopefully win a playoff game. Let's talk about the Panthers for a second. Bryce Young, 18 for 26 for completion, threw for 84 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. And as y'all don't know, Bryce Young has been benched for Andy Dalton, which was a dumb move by the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers need to sell their franchise. Because why would you bench a young quarterback in Bryce Young and put in Andy Dalton? Andy Dalton is worse than Bryce Young. And they think Bryce Young is the problem. No, Bryce Young is not the problem for the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young is a good quarterback. It's just the O-line is horrible. The defense is trash. And the coaching is awful. What I mean by the O-line is horrible, I can gear up and sack Bryce Young about 10 times. That's how trash the O-line is. The Panthers got to do something with that organization. But when I heard the news, I was kind of pissed off. I'm like, wait, so the Panthers can work with Bryce Young? You just throw in Andy Dalton? And since Andy Dalton will be starting, Panthers going 0-17. Congratulations. They need to sell the franchise at this point. And if you're a Panthers fan, I feel bad for you. But that's it. Chargers win 26-3, improved to 2-0 the season. Next game, Packers beat the Colts 16-10 in Green Bay at Lambeau Field. No Jordan Love. Malik Willis, good game. 12 for 14 for completion, threw for 122 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions. I picked the Green Bay Packers to win this game because they were at home. Even though without Jordan Love, I feel like the offense is still going to do their thing. The defense is very good for the Packers, so I feel like the defense was going to keep them in the game against the Colts. And the Colts are not really an outdoor team. You know, they play indoors. So I just picked the Packers, and I was right. For the Colts, Anthony Richardson, 7 for 34 for completion attempts, threw for 204 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. A slow start to Anthony Richardson and the Colts. A lot of these young quarterbacks and rookies in the league right now are starting off very slow. but it's just 2 weeks. By like week 4, week 5, they're gonna find their groove and see where they can lead this team to. But otherwise, though, Packers win 16-10 and get their first win of the season. What a bounce back game by the Green Bay Packers. Next up, we go to Minnesota, where the Vikings defeated the 49ers 23-17. No Christian McCaffrey. The Vikings, Sam Darnold is playing really good. When I tell you Sam Darnold is doing his job, the Minnesota Vikings are 2-0. Yes, the Minnesota Vikings are 2-0 under Sam Darnold. He is doing his job. Prayers up for J.J. McCarthy because him and Justin Jefferson was about to go crazy this season. Let's look at the stats for Sam Darnold. 17 for 26 for completion, threw for 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. One of those 2 touchdowns came from a long bomb to Justin Jefferson, which was the highlight of the game. Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the NFL. The Vikings have a good defense, and the offense isn't bad. They got Aaron Jones, that running back, Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, and Sam Darnold, who is a solid quarterback. And the Vikings are in first place in the NFC North right now. But I still believe that the Lions will still win that division. But I won't be surprised if the Vikings make the playoffs under Sam Darnold because he is doing his thing. Now let's go to the 49ers. Brock Purdy, okay game. 28 for 36 for completion. Threw for 319 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Now, I understand Christian McCaffrey didn't play, but I still picked the 49ers to win this game because they have a very good defense. But it seemed like Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson broke down the 49ers defense. Like I said, there's been a lot of upsets in the National Football League this weekend. It's crazy. But that's it. Vikings improved to 2-0, beat the 49ers 23-17. Next up, we go to Baltimore when the Ravens fall 0-2 of the season against the Las Vegas Raiders 26-23. Gardner Minshew had a good game. Devontae Adams had a good game, scored a touchdown, I believe, to tie the game. And the Raiders defense was very good. I love how they put pressure on Lamar Jackson. Max Crosby was him. When I tell you Max Crosby was him, that dude was him. All those pressures and sacks on Lamar Jackson, he won the Raiders the game on defense. Let's look at the stats for Gardner Minshew. 30 for 38 for completion, threw for 276 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Good game. Gardner Minshew, good quarterback for the Raiders. I love the pickup. Hopefully, him and Devontae Adams can work it out over there in Vegas and see where things can head in the right direction. Devontae Adams, 12 targets, not receiving, went for 110 yards and 1 touchdown. Hey, that's how you ball out. Lamar Jackson, 21 for 34 for completion attempts, threw for 247 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Lamar Jackson, what are you doing? I picked y'all to win the AFC North, and I have y'all as the biggest threats to the Kansas City Chiefs. And y'all are 0-2 of the season. And these are heartbreakers for the Baltimore Ravens. You got the toe tap against Kansas City in week 1 at Arrowhead. And now you lose at home to the Raiders off of a field goal. But it's okay, though. I'm not selling on the Ravens. I'm not going to be pissed off on the Ravens, ride them or nothing like that. I still believe that the Baltimore Ravens will get it together and Lamar Jackson will play better and the defense will play better too because the defense hasn't been doing their job for the Ravens and that's been their problem. defense wins games. That's the first of all. It showed at Kansas City and it showed against Vegas. The defense has to step up, and John Harbaugh has to do better at coaching. I feel like that's what's going on over there. The coaching. Harbaugh has to do better. But that said, though, I still believe that the Baltimore Ravens will win the AFC North, but they need to go on like a 5-game winning streak. But that's it. Raiders win 26-23 in Baltimore, improved to 1-1 of the season. Next game, we got the Seahawks defeating the Patriots in Foxborough 23-20 in overtime. What a game. Geno Smith, good game. His stats were 33 for 44 for completion attempts, threw for 327 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Good game for Geno Smith as the Seahawks improved to 2-0 this season. The Seattle Seahawks are a very good team. This is a new coach over there in Seattle. He's doing a great job. And the defense for the Seahawks is very good too. When you look at the Legion of Boom back in the day and what the defense is doing now, the Seahawks defense is scary. I believe that Jamal Adams is still over there. So, yeah, this defense is special for the Seahawks. And they are playoff contenders. Let's talk about the Patriots. The Patriots, from what I've seen, good game. The Patriots are surprising a lot of teams. Nobody expecting them to go 1-1 to start off the season. But hey, new coach, new quarterback. It's a new era in New England. So I'm just happy for Jacoby Brissett and the new coach. They're 1-1 of the season. In a hard-fought game against Seattle, which I'm kind of mad at. The Patriots may surprise a lot of teams this year and win unexpected games. And that's it. Seahawks win 23-20, improved to 2-0 the season. Now, the next game I would like to talk about is what game? Oh, yeah, the Bengals and Chiefs. Chiefs win 26-25 in Arrowhead. Burrow against Patrick Mahomes, that is the matchup. The greatest matchup of all time. Whenever the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs go up against each other, it always ends up in a good game. It always comes down to a last-second field goal. Those two teams match up very well against each other. And on that last play, let's go to that last play, that pass interference. To me, that wasn't pass interference because that player was trying to intercept the ball. But I just feel like the Chiefs need the refs to bail them out to win games. That's what it looked like for the past 2 weeks. The Chiefs are getting bailed out. I don't care what y'all say. The Kansas City Chiefs need the refs to win these games, it seems like. Because that wasn't pass interference. I just feel like they threw it so the Chiefs can go 2-0 this season. Joe Burrow, he had a good game. Patrick Mahomes, he had a good game. But I had the Bengals winning this game, and I wish they would have won. They were 4th and 16. They were this close for going 1-1 of the season. But I don't blame nobody for this loss. This was a hard-fought game. And the Bengals, they'll bounce back next week. Chiefs are 2-0 this season. And that's it. Now, moving on to the next game. Let me see if I reviewed any other games. Next game I'd like to review is the Browns and Jaguars. Browns win 18-13. In Jacksonville, Deshaun Watson had a bounce-back game. 22 for 34 for completion attempts, 186 yards, no touchdown, and no INTs. It's like the defense did their thing. That's been crazy all this week. Defense has been doing their jobs around the National Football League. That's because defense wins games. Now let's go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, 14 for 30 for completion attempts, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 220 yards. Not a good game for Trevor Lawrence. This was their first home game of the season. He struggled. The Jaguars, y'all should be 1-1 too. So there are a lot of teams in the National Football League right now that are 0-2. That should be 1-1. But it's football. You win some games, you lose some games. But that's it. Browns win 18-13. Deshaun Watson bounces back and improved to 1-1 of the season. Next up, we got the Commanders beating the Giants off of a game-winning field goal, 21-18. What a bounce back game for Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders as he threw for 23 for 29 for completion attempts, 226 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. And to me, I'm looking at the stats. It's like the defense did their thing. The defense wins games. The Washington Commanders are a very good team. They're not a bad team. They are a solid team. They got a good defense and a very good offense of the Jaden Daniels, the franchise quarterback. Scary Terry's still over there. I like that quarterback and wide receiver duo. Now let's go to the Giants for a second. And before I talk about the Giants game, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Daniel Jones is not your guy. After this season, y'all need to cut Daniel Jones. Because why did y'all pay this man so much money? Daniel Jones is not it. I kept saying it. I understand he led the Giants to the playoffs one time, but he's just not a good quarterback. He's okay. I'm not saying he's trash, but he's okay. 16 for 28 for completion, 178 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Solid game for Daniel Jones, but he's just not their guy. I'm sorry, Giants fans. Next game, we got the Cardinals defeating the Rams 41-10 in Arizona. Man, the Rams, they're dealing with a lot of injuries right now. Puka Nacua is hurt. Cooper Kupp is now hurt. Man, the Rams season might be over. As a matter of fact, the Rams season is officially over. And people have the Rams making the playoffs, but now it's just over. They just need to go ahead and pack it up. Let's look at the stats for Kyler Murray. 17 for 21 for completion, threw for 266 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. That is how you ball out. Kyler Murray played a phenomenal game. And Marvin Harrison Jr., that dude is elite. I love how the Arizona Cardinals went and got him to be Kyler Murray's number one go-to guy. I'm looking at his stats for receiving, 8 targets, 4 receptions, went for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. Marvin Harrison is the guy. He really is. But that's all I have to say. The Rams did not have a good game. Matthew Stafford, who's he going to throw the ball to? His 2 best wide receivers are hurt, so ain't nobody he could throw the ball to. But that's it. Cardinals with an impressive win over the Rams, 41-10. Next up, we got the Steelers beating the Broncos in Denver, 13-16. Justin Fields is QB1. I don't care if Russ is healthy and he's coming back. Justin Fields is QB1. And I understand they play the Falcons and Broncos, but if the Steelers want to have a best chance of making the playoffs or even winning the AFC North, Justin Fields is your guy. Because you just don't want to bring in Russ after injury and then he just mess up y'all groove. The Steelers have the groove right now on offense with Justin Fields as their quarterback. And the Steelers defense is elite. When I tell you this defense is elite, this is a top 3 defense in the NFL under TJ Watt. When TJ Watt is on the field, the Steelers have a good defense. When he's not on the field, where's the defense? It's like TJ Watt is a game changer for this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Now looking at the stats for Justin Fields, 13 for 20 for completion attempts, threw for 117 yards and 1 touchdown. That's a good game for Justin Fields. Now moving on to the Broncos, Bo Nix, 20 for 35 for completion attempts, threw for 246 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Bo Nix, off to a rough start. Hey, everybody's off to a rough start right now. It's just 2 weeks into the regular season. So, like I said, once it hits week 4, week 5, they're going to figure things out. But that's it. Steelers are 2-0 the season. They beat the Broncos 13-6. Moving on to Sunday night, we got the Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans. Texans win 19-13 in H-Town. CJ Stroud is phenomenal. He's a top 5 quarterback in the AFC. He had a good game. CJ Stroud stats, 23 for 36 for completion attempts, threw for 260 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. CJ Stroud is him. Okay? And don't be surprised if the Houston Texans make it to the AFC Championship or come out the AFC. The defense is so elite. When I tell you that defense was all over Caleb Williams was sacked by like 15 times. The O-line for the Bears did not exist. Caleb Williams also off to a rough start too for a rookie quarterback. 23 for 37 for completion attempts, 174 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Caleb Williams off to another rough start. But I'm not sold on this Bears team yet. I got the Chicago Bears making the playoffs this year under Caleb Williams. They got a good offense and a good defense. I got them winning 9 to 10 games still, but I feel like Caleb Williams gonna find his stride sometime at this point of the season. And that's it. Texans win 19-13 in H-Town on Sunday Night Football. Texans are 2-0 this season. And now we go to the Monday night game. We have my Atlanta Falcons defeating the Philadelphia Eagles 22-21. Hey, y'all see my shirt, man? Y'all see my shirt? Dirty Birds. We walked into Philly, got the W, led by Kirk Cousins. Let's talk about it. And Kirk Cousins, what a game. What a bounce-back game by Kirk Cousins. He played like a 4-year, $180 million player that game. 20 for 29 for completion attempts, threw for 241 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Kirk Cousins, that's how you play football. And the offensive line was way better. You see, when we have our offensive line blocking, our run game will be elite, and the pass protection will be good for Kirk Cousins. So our offensive line did a good job, but it can still improve. But I'm just happy about this win. Bijan Robinson, good game. He ran for 97 yards and 14 attempts. Darnell Mooney, he had a touchdown that put the Falcons up by 5. Drake London with the go-ahead touchdown for Kirk Cousins. He had a good game. Let's talk about that last drop. 1 minute and 39 seconds left. Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons have the ball down 6. They need a touchdown to possibly win the game. What he does, go down the field, scores the touchdown to Drake London. The celebration was kind of unnecessary, but hey, I ain't mad about it though. Younghoe Koo still made that kick because Younghoe Koo is our best kicker that we ever had. And he is so clutch too. Defense, phenomenal. I've always loved our defense. When I tell you our defense came ready to play, our defense came ready to play. We show a lot of pressure on Jalen Hurts. We contained Devontae Smith. Defense, that's how you ball. They had a very good bounce back game as well too. And Jesse Bates, I love you. With the game-winning interception to seal the deal. And now let's go to the Eagles. Jalen Hurts threw for 23. Sorry about that, but Jalen Hurts, 23 for 34 completion attempts, 183 yards, one touchdown, and one interception, which that interception counts as the one at the end by Jesse Bates. Saquon Barkley, he had a good game, but how did you drop that ball? Saquon Barkley, you had the game won. You had it. All you had to do was catch the ball, and it's over. And to me, I was watching this on Get Up, and they was talking about, was this a good call or a bad call or a right play? To me, it was a good play. And it was right there, too. All Saquon had to do, catch the ball, Eagles up 2-0. It's that simple. But you drop the ball and give the Atlanta Falcons life. I thought it was over. At that point, when it was 3rd-3, I said, if they get at least 2 yards, it's a wrap. But the play was nice. They drew it up very well. They just couldn't finish. And that's it. Falcons win 22-21. I'm so happy about my team coming to Philly and winning this game. It was just a good night for me, and I'll have a good rest of my week. Now, week 3 of the NFL season kicks off Thursday night, and I'm here to give y'all my predictions. Starting off with the Thursday night game, we got the New England Patriots and the New York Jets. I got the Jets winning this game, but I won't be surprised if the Patriots upset because the Patriots have been playing very good ball lately. Throughout the past 2 weeks of the season, they beat Cincinnati and almost beat Seattle at home. And the Patriots, every time they go up against the New York Jets, they always play good. You know, they always seem to have their numbers. So I got the Jets beating the Patriots. Next up, we got the Chicago Bears and the Indianapolis Colts. I got the Colts getting their first win of the NFL season. Caleb Williams is still going to struggle. It's in Indy, so I feel like Caleb Williams is going to have a good game, but it ain't going to be that much of a good game. So give me the Colts to beat the Bears. And then we have a good one in New Orleans. It's an NFC showdown. We got the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. And it's crazy because I want to pick the Saints to win, and I feel like they're going to win the game. But I'm rolling with the Eagles. I feel like they will bounce back after that heartbreaking loss to the Atlanta Falcons. And Jalen Hurts will have a very good game. Next up, we got the Broncos and the Buccaneers. This is easy. The Buccaneers are winning. Panthers and Raiders. Andy Dalton is the starting quarterback. I got the Raiders winning. Lions Cardinals. I got the Lions. 49ers Rams. A lot of injuries. Oof, man. But the 49ers own the Rams, so I got the 49ers. Giants Browns. I got the Browns. The Giants suck. Daniel Jones. He is not it. Texans Vikings. Good game. It can go either way. Realistically, Sam Darnold and CJ Stroud have both been doing their jobs. I'm going with the Texans here. Even though this game is in Minnesota, the Texans are the better team. But I won't be surprised if the Vikings win. I feel like this will be a very good defensive game. I got the Texans beating the Vikings. Chargers Steelers, very good game. Harbaugh versus Tomlin, I'm going with the Steelers. This is their first home game of the season. Justin Fields will get his first home win as a Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is going to be a very good defensive game too, and it will be close. So I got the Steelers beating the Chargers. Packers Titans, I got the Packers. Malik Willis revenge game. Ooh, it's going to be a good one. Give me the Packers to beat the Titans. We got the Miami Dolphins and the Seattle Seahawks. No Tua Tagovailoa. Give me the Seahawks to beat the Dolphins. Ravens Cowboys. Very good game. Lamar Jackson versus Dak Prescott. If you don't know, Lamar Jackson is 20-1 against NFC teams. It doesn't matter who he go up against, whether they're Super Bowl contenders or not. He is 20-1 against NFC teams. So give me the Baltimore Ravens to have a bounce back game against the Dallas Cowboys. Lamar Jackson will be better. He will outplay Dak Prescott. And this game is in Dallas too. And when you look at this game, both of these teams are looking forward to bounce back because they both lost at home and it was a embarrassing loss. The Cowboys was embarrassing, but the Ravens was a heartbreaker. So give me the Ravens to beat the Cowboys. And then we got Sunday Night Football. We got the Kansas City Chiefs versus my Atlanta Falcons. Y'all know who I'm rolling with. Them Dirty Birds. Give me the Falcons to upset the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. And to beat the Chiefs, we got to apply pressure on Patrick Mahomes and contain Travis Kelce and their other two guys, Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice. I feel confident that we will beat the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. And then on Monday Night Football, we have a doubleheader. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills. I got the Bills winning this game. It's in Buffalo too. The Jaguars will start 0-3. Josh Allen will have a good game. And then last but not least, we got the Washington Commanders versus the Cincinnati Bengals. I got the Bengals getting their first win of the season. And they're at home too. So give me the Bengals to beat the Commanders. And those are my week 3 picks. Now, there's been a lot of injuries going on around the National Football League that I want to get into. Number one, like I mentioned, Tua's concussion was very sad. He's been put on IR for the next 4 games. And I'm looking at the Miami Dolphins schedule. It's not really a tough schedule. They got the Seahawks, the Titans. Hold on. They got the Seahawks, Titans. I'm looking at the schedule right now. All right, there we go. So their next 4 games are against the Seahawks, the Titans, the Patriots, and the Colts. I'll say they get 2 there. They beat the Titans and the Patriots, but lose to the Colts. And then Tua is eligible to come back for week 8 at home when they go against the Arizona Cardinals. So the Dolphins season is still alive. And there's still hope that they can still win the AFC East or make the playoffs. And I want to give y'all my thoughts on Bryce Young being benched. That was a dumb move by Carolina. Panthers sell the organization. Bryce Young is a good quarterback. The offensive line is just horrible. It just really is. The Panthers, they've been going a lot for the last couple of years. They're in a rebuilding stage. Just sell the franchise, okay? I'll come play quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. I'll come suit up. Shoot, I can play for $5. Just sign me, and I'll come give y'all a couple wins. And then some other injuries have been going on. Christian McCaffrey is hurt. Deebo Samuel is hurt for the 49ers. So the 49ers are going to be a little shaky. All they can have on their offense is George Kittle and Brock Purdy. But the defense is still going to do their job. And Justin Jefferson, he's hurt for the Vikings. He's going to be out for an amount of time. And A.J. Brown from the Philadelphia Eagles will be out with a hamstring injury too. But, man, there's been a lot of injuries, and the season just started. But, hey, this game is a physical game, and injuries are a part of the game. So, hey, it is what it is. And that concludes today's show today. Thank you for all the people that joined. Thank you for all the love and support. Make sure y'all go follow me on IG and on TikTok at The Nard Report. The link is in my bio. And just a reminder, I go live every Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. And if y'all like this content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And that's it. I love y'all. Make sure y'all stay tuned for more. Nard out.